Hey everyone, Andres Tovar here, and I've got a quick video to show you something really exciting that's come out, just a nifty little tool that came out. As some as you may know, Holly Cooper, started getting into Surfshaker sites a few months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months now, when I did a webinar that she happened to catch and just got interested, started doing it. Now her main concern, and pretty much everyone's concern with these huge sites, is how do I get them indexed? So being the way that she is and doing things in mass, she started looking for different ways to get things indexed quickly and be able to turn around from building a site to making money with it as quick as possible. And she's come out with this nifty little tool. Does some Ninja backend stuff. I'm not sure, works a little bit with Google or whatnot, but basically it just gets your stuff indexed within minutes, and it's crazy fast how it works. I'm loving using it because I can literally go from buying a domain, building the site, to making money within 24 and 48 hours, as long as you pick your keywords right, you know, your niches that you're targeting and all that. We're seeing clicks very quickly, as opposed to the typical maybe like 2 week time frame that we were seeing before. So what I want to do in this video, because the software does involve a few little things, I want to just going to walk you right through it, show you everything that you need to get it up and running, how to set it all up, how we're using it, so you can basically see a full walkthrough of it. And then also, I'm going to build a site brand new. Actually, we have it. We just built it, and we're going to put it through the indexer so that in a few minutes we can also check the results and show you live how it's indexed. And then as the next couple days, I'll follow up with it so you can see how quickly, once we get the first couple things indexed, how quickly it starts growing from there. So let's just jump to the screen. Let me show you how it all works. And also, if you're just going to jump through to the end of it, I was able to get Holly to give you guys a discount. So definitely don't miss out on that. Use the coupon code. It's going to be shown above the screen here. So just make sure you use that coupon code. And that coupon is probably only going to be active for about 3 days or so. I'll make sure that in the emails, I'll send you the exact time when it's going to expire. But definitely take advantage of that. So let's just jump to the screen. Let me show you how it works, and I'll show you all the different features. Okay, so here we are in I'm actually using Parallels to be able to get into the Windows setup, because the software only works on Windows, but if you're on a Mac you can use Parallel or any of the other options to do that, or just get one of the like a cheap Windows BPS to be able to run it. Either way it's fine. Just make sure that before you activate your software, your IP address will be tied into that license key. So if you happen to change IP addresses by going to another BPS or something, it's not going to work. So just make sure you talk to Holly if you do end up changing that. She's changed the IP address for me a couple times as I was messing around with some things and testing some things out. But I just wanted to show that basically I just picked up this domain, this indexer rocks.xyz. Picked it up this morning, 11:29 a.m. Nothing's in this whatsoever. I went ahead and built a Surfshaker style site on it. Just grabbed some content off of eZine articles, dropped some short codes in it just to simulate what a regular site will look like anyways. Did the interlinking like normal. Also added all the shortcodes that I normally add to all my sites, with the interlinking, the random posts, the weather, video. Obviously, you know, I'm using SS Yelp in all my builds, so I've got that in there as well. So I've got all those in there, showing the categories on the sidebar like I do for most of my sites, just to help with indexing as well. But just to show, if we grab this domain and go to google.com, do a site search, there should be 0 things indexed. Okay, so I've got the sitemap here, and let me open up the, when Holly sends you the download, you're gonna get a zip file. Once you unzip it, pretty much this is what it's gonna look like. You've got an accounts file, instructions, and URLs. The instructions, if you open it up, is a text file. She's got a video in there. Basically what I'm going to be showing you here, it's the same exact thing that she has on there. I just wanted to make sure that I did a thorough walkthrough, showed you everything that's required on top of buying the indexer, so that way there's no surprises if you decide to purchase it and all that. So opening up the file here, we've got the badass indexer, and basically this is what it looks like, and this is why I wanted to do a video, so that way there weren't any surprises or any confusion. The first one is where you can load up your accounts. The second one is where you're going to load up the URLs that you want to get indexed, and then you enter your death by CAPTCHA or 2CAPTCHA. From speaking to Holly recently, she's highly recommending to use 2CAPTCHA.com. You get better results that way, and then a few other settings on here. But before we jump into any of that, what are accounts? What is this 2CAPTCHA stuff? So let's go into that. The accounts are basically Google accounts. What this does is basically it logs into Webmaster Tools for you, uses a unique method of submitting the URLs, but it's not submitting the site itself to Webmaster Tools like a typical Webmaster Tools setup is. So that's why you need the Google accounts. And the reason you need multiple of them is because you only want to do about 20-25 URLs per account on a single day, and then it can kind of rotate through, and you can have more than 20-25 URLs per account, but it's better to have multiple accounts. That way you don't hit any limits or burn your accounts or do anything like that. So the place that people are getting their accounts from is this buyaccs.com. And when you first go in, it might be in Russian, so just make sure you click English so that way you can actually understand. But with the ones you're looking for are these Gmail USA PBA. And if you scroll, I'm just going to show you because this at first it was a little bit confusing, but if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, let's say you just want like 20 accounts to start with, you choose which ones you want, and you want these gmail.com USA PVA. You choose how you're going to pay. I did PayPal and they didn't have any issues with that. Or actually, if you want to do PayPal, now that I remember, you're going to want to create a ticket first and ask for PayPal approval. They say it right there. So just create a ticket with your name, your email address. I'm sure you got to tell them the PayPal email you want to use and let them know that you like to pay via PayPal. Otherwise, you can just use, if you go back and we go down to the bottom, you can pay with a credit card and you won't have any issues with that. So just make sure if you're going to do PayPal, get it approved beforehand before running the order. You can start with as little as 20-30 accounts, but I just wanted to bring that up because it is an extra charge on top of what you will need. For example, with 30 accounts, it's going to end up being $5.10. So nothing crazy to get started. The next thing you're going to need is the 2CAPTCHA credits. You go to 2CAPTCHA.com, sign up for an account, and then you go, once you're logged in, you want to go and deposit money. I put in a balance of $30, so I just added 30 on here, and I did PayPal. No, I had to fight a little bit with this interface here to get it to accept my money. For some reason, none of the ones with credit cards, actually with this particular one, my account got blocked because it's Russia that tries to bill it. So immediately my business account, they blocked the credit card because I didn't want that to go through. And PayPal was also giving me issues, I'm assuming because I had a business PayPal account. But if I was able to do PayPal and just not log into my account and put my credit card details without logging in, and that was able to go through, and that's how I was able to fund my account. So once you have those two set up, you can start adding the details. If we go back over here to the main file, notice that we've got accounts. So when you get your by accounts, you're going to get a file that has it's got more things than you actually need. Because it's got the username, the password, and then I believe the email that they use to verify it, along with the password for that email and a phone number. So just get that text file, strip off the ending part. You really just need the username and password. And once you get your accounts, you want to copy and paste them in here. For your URLs, what we've been doing is we actually use, since we use BWP sitemaps, we're taking all the sitemap URLs and we're running those through the indexer first instead of running individual URLs, and this seems to be working really well. So if we take all the URLs to individual post sitemaps, we bring them over to this URL file, and that's where we paste in there. And now before, in the instructions it says to log into the accounts before running it through the indexer. So since I know it's 25 URLs per account, I'm just going to log into the first one. I'm just going to, we go to Webmaster Tools, so we go to google.com webmasters and go to sign in. So I'm going to take the first name here. Oops. Copy. Paste. And the password, it seemed like that first account, something was funky with it, so I gotta make sure I delete that from the list, but this one should be fine. Sign in, and as long as you're able to sign in, then you're good to go. That's all you really need to check. So I'm going to delete this first one here from the list, make sure that I save this account file. And so when I run the indexer, it's going to use this first account. I'm only going to submit about 10 URLs or so. Now I can go ahead and fire up the indexer, which I actually have it running. So the first one, we browse and we're going to look for that account folder. The second one, we're going to do the same thing, but look for the URLs. And then the to CAPTCHA, we're going to enter the API key, which is right under to CAPTCHA, you see API. And it should show us the API key right here. So just copy and paste that in there. And don't worry, after the video is done, I will go ahead and change this API key. So don't even try to use my credits, which is not very much, just $30, but still, I'm going to be using it to index my own stuff. So we're going to go ahead and paste that in there. You want to specify a delay of anywhere to 5 to 10 seconds. I believe Holly mentions in her instructions. Let me just open up the instruction folder, make sure I set that correctly. She's got a screenshot here of what it should look like. She's got 10 seconds, so let's do the same exact settings. 10 seconds and 25 URLs. Once we do that, we're gonna hit start, but let's just do one last check. Make sure it's not indexed. I wanna make sure that it's legitimate. We've got nothing indexed. Let's go ahead and start the timer because I wanted to see actually how long it would take for anything to pop up. And let's go ahead and run the indexer. So let's start it up. Notice right now that it's trying to, got some firewall pop up, so I'm gonna allow it. Make sure the firewall is not blocking anything. Right now it's trying to log in and it's submitting the first URL. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video while it does the submission, then I'll start it back up. But this whole time I'll keep the stopwatch running so that way we can get an accurate idea of how long it actually takes to index things. Okay, so the indexer, it's still running. It's running a little bit slow, and I talked to Holly while it was running, while it's taking a while because it's been close to 4 minutes now and it's only done the first sitemap submitted. She mentioned that to CAPTCHA seems to have certain times that it runs a little bit better. So if you do it first thing in the morning or just late night, you'd be able to get a little bit faster. with them solving the captchas. But just gonna refresh this here just to make sure, see if anything's indexed yet. And actually we can see in a few minutes the first sitemap that I put through is already index in Google. So it's going to go through and submit all these different sitemaps. And the reason we're doing the sitemaps is because basically all of our posts are in those sitemaps. So once Google indexes the sitemap and crawls those in the next day or so, we should start seeing posts from that specific sitemap start to show up in the search results. And that's why I kind of bought a brand new domain and something that really had nothing to do with any of the niches or anything that I deal with. That way, if you wanted to, before making a purchasing decision, you could go ahead and just continue checking to see how well this starts indexing. And as long as you do everything I teach regarding the interlinking, having categories in the sidebar, that kind of stuff, then your site's going to index really well. And doing it this way is how we've been able to go from site being built to getting either AdSense clicks or leads within 48 hours or so, which is something that has really been completely unheard of before. So this is why I'm really excited about it. Just how fast we can get things going, especially if you have some kind of time sensitive campaigns. This is awesome for that because you can roll them out and get them in the index really quick and start getting results that way. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. You are bringing a ton of Google bots to your server. So if your server's not set up to handle that, just don't submit 10, 20 sites a day. Maybe just index 1 or 2 sites, 3 sites per day, and you should be good to go. Another thing is maybe look into getting some kind of caching plugin. So when the bots do come, they're getting a cached version, and it should be a little bit quicker. Make sure your site's not taking a huge hit or your server's not taking a huge hit. So this is pretty much what it does. We can refresh. Maybe we'll see some more of those sitemaps in here. Notice that they're all starting to get indexed. So in the next the next day or so, feel free to check it out. You'll see that posts from these individual sitemaps are going to start getting indexed relatively soon. And we're going to start seeing, obviously, the keywords that I picked, they're not keywords that are probably going to get me traffic, but you never know. I'm just going to set it up, leave it like this, not take the site down. That way people can kind of track what it's doing. And don't forget to use the coupon code that's shown above. Once you click the link, go to checkout, enter the coupon code, it gives you $50 off. This definitely is not cheap. It's not a cheap program, but it's a one-time charge. Plus the other little things that I mentioned with the 2CAP and the buying accounts. But you'll always have a way of indexing things really quick. And I know some of you are going to ask, what about, am I going to continue using BLI? I am. I've always said that I don't use BLI for its indexing features. I just use it as a way to kind of boost each of my individual posts. So I'm going to continue keeping the plugin active on all my sites, continue using that. Because I always notice that it gives a nice little boost. So this, in combination with everything else we're doing, it's a really powerful technique and should really give a nice boost and make it to where, instead of waiting 2 to 3 weeks for a site to mature and index, you can literally go from site built to earning 48, 72 hours later.